Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the User Hectic Podcast. I'm me, your host, Justin Freeburn. Today's guests, we have two upcoming talents in the Northern Irish comedy scene. We've got Conall and Sam McVea. And anyway, we'll end it there. We'll take, I don't know, what's the crack with these boys? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while either. So
no, man, it's been ages.
I took a few months off there to try and not kill myself. So.
Well, here, rehab stuff and everybody, Justin, it's okay. Like, you need the time to just focus on yourself. It's all good.
Exactly.
But you're yourself that holiday season. You don't even want to leave the house with a cold, like, fucking.
I know. But it's fucking Baltic constantly. It's been Baltic for about 2.5 years. I haven't felt sun in years, you know.
Don't even want it. Sucks absolute dick.
Yeah. But Sam, is this your second ever podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, you did the Four Brawers one.
Yeah.
How'd you get on at that?
I mean, no offense to Four Brothers, but it's hard to talk when there's about four people talking at you. In balaclavas.
I was the first person to do their podcast. I was their first guest, and nobody wanted to do it. Everyone was getting told, "Nah, I'm not doing it. Why would I do that? No, blah blah blah." And because they asked everyone, and I went, "Fuck it, I'll do it." And I showed up and I was like, I could be getting jumped here. I'm driving out to fucking, at the time they were in like Balnahinch. So I was like, I'm driving out to the asshole of nowhere here to meet four men in masks. And I did the podcast and it was class. It was quite a high view one. I think I got like one of their highest viewed clips as well.
Serious?
So, yeah.
Fair enough.
The Irish Cobborn one. So
must have thought you were Mickey Bartlett in the thumbnail.
Everyone thought that, yeah. I get that in town and shit. I'll be walking through like Lurgan and people will be like, Mickey! And I'm like, go fuck yourself.
No, it's not me. Not me.
No, do you ever get mistaken for anyone?
I get mistaken for Johnny Bo when I'm on stage sometimes. Maybe that's just because of the suit, but I don't know.
Or the paedophile jokes.
Yeah.
So, you are quite. How long have you been doing comedy now?
It'll be a year actually on Valentine's Day.
Now? Jesus.
On Valentine's Day?
Did you start on Valentine's Day?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Did you start because of a breakup or something?
No, I just started because it was the first day and I got a spot and I was like, sure, I'll do it.
What made you want to do it then?
I don't know. I just wanted to try it. Like it was, I remember watching loads of comedians and stuff, and I started to get into like the sort of open mic scene, you know, like with you guys and stuff. I can't remember who I saw first. I was like, I want to try that. That's a local club. Let's all sign up at the door.
Yeah.
I'll go see if I can do it.
So you started after Moddens kicked off then? That was...
Well, I started like sort of like when like Mans was like just started. So like I started when Sean got like the remember Sean used to have the flag?
Yeah.
I started like pretty much a month after he got the new sign. Like that's my first set at Man's like a month after he got the new sign, I'm pretty sure.
There's like waves of comedy, and yours would be the Moddens wave, you would say.
Did you say so?
Was that a dig or something?
I don't know. Observational comedy. It's all. Yeah, that's what it is.
And then I don't know if we were like the post-COVID comics, because we were the ones started like the day after like COVID stopped. And then before us, it was like people were like, I did my first gig at Lavery's, and we're like, what?
Excuse me?
And like imagine doing your first set at Lavery's now. It'd be fucking mental, like,
Yeah.
you know. But what's your plans with comedy? Do you have any plans, or is it just like...
Not really. I mean,
No, you
just keep doing it.
Just winging it?
Get on podcasts like this.
I think this is the second time I've seen you outside of a suit. So
It does feel weird.
That's
Yeah.
when I pulled up.
I mean, I brought the suit.
Did you actually?
I brought the suit in my bag. But then I was like, you know what? We'll just wear the BoJack Horseman t-shirt.
Fair enough. And Conall, this is actually the first time you've been on the podcast. So.
It is. It's fucking.
Yeah, but I've known you
time.
for like 2 years now or something.
I'd say about 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I always said, I'm like a broken record. I'm like a fart on the comedy scene. You know, I show up, make a big stink, and then disappear for a while.
I'm more like the Kanye West. I'm like, I show up, get really drunk, accuse someone of being not good enough to be on stage, and then leave for 3 months. You know, but I'll do a class set in the middle of that. You know?
Still lethal though. Still lethal.
Appreciate that.
Rap god.
I know. But what got you into it then?
What honestly, shout out to my homeboy Daniel Quinn. I feel like I mentioned him.
You've seen him before on it. He was on when Soupy was the host as well.
That's
so,
right. That's
yeah.
right. I actually listened to that podcast for preparation for this. But no, me and Daniel.
So did I actually. I saw Daniel Quinn was on. I was like, I'll listen to that one.
Me and Daniel used to work together, and it was just a case of all we did was talk about comedy. And I feel like I've told the story before, but it's just a case. I was working late one night, working away. He texted me, he's like, mate, gonna go down to Voodoo in Belfast here. Open mic nights on the night. I'm like, alright, bro, like no problem.
He did tell that story. He told it about how he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna head down to Voodoo. There's an open mic," and like you just jumped on it. You were like, "Fuck yeah, I'm doing it too."
Let's hop on.
Yeah, like that's mental. Like the thing, like your first open mic wasn't actually a comedy open mic. There's probably like a poet on before you, or like some guy fucking singing Wonderwall with spoons.
You know what? I think it was because I've recognised the fella still to this day because I've done it a few times at Voodoo for the open mic, like just early days before it did like PAV for the first time.
Yeah,
And it was always the same poet. Like, if you're saying this, like, you're a very nice guy, but he'd always come over and be like, you know what you should do? You should say it like this. I was like,
all right, Seamus Heaney, fuck off.
yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm over trying to sling some jokes, not like, crab at my generational trauma like the rest of us. Like, I'm here to joke about it, not talk about it. But no, it was good crack.
If I'm going to talk about generational trauma, there's going to be a dick joke somewhere in it. Like, we're going to make a comparison somehow about how Michael Collins is the same shape as my dick. That's
Comparisons and dick jokes. Like, how's mine's bigger than yours? Mine's longer.
Where do you keep yours? In the cupboard?
Nah, mine's is on the straight up or on the countertop, mate. As it should be. But no, it was good. I think it was a good way to jump into it because even this like that initial fear of just going in front of an audience and everyone was. I don't know if you've ever been to Voodoo. Maybe you have.
I've been in it once, but just like drinking in it for like a like on a 12 pubs at Christmas or something.
Yeah.
Like I actually haven't like sat down in it and been like, or I've never went to a show in it. So
That's the bar I always walk past and just it looks like not sketchy, but it looks like a bar that I shouldn't be in. Like as a young,
I think it's the other way around. I think it's just full of like goths who are now in Sinn Féin.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
just who it all is. It's not like dangerous people anymore. It's like
The Sinn Féin youth. Pretty much.
it's literally just people who are like hipsters.
I didn't vote Sinn Féin. I voted Alliance for my comedy set purposes.
You didn't need to tell us.
I don't know why I
who
said-
you voted for, man.
It's not going to be in the political session of Spotify. It's good to know.
Who did you vote for? Leave it in the comments.
Who did you not vote for? Tell me what.
Well, what's your opinion on Trump at the minute?
Jesus Christ. I think John Mulaney said it best. The horse is loose in the hospital. Like,
Oh yeah.
he's like, no idea what the fuck he's going to do next, man.
I know,
honestly.
it's so funny. I was seeing like he's like trying to put tariffs on countries and shit, and I think that's so funny. Like he's just basically got an office and like started on everyone. You know what he is? He's like, whenever your mate gets too drunk and he gets into a bar and you're like, oh no, he'll be grand. Like, because whenever Trump won the run up, I was like, here, Trump might be all right. I was like, here, Trump could be cooking here, like, And then the second he got in office, I went, oh shit,
Oh, dear.
this
Oh,
guy's
dear.
mental.
It's pretty much like my best comparison to it is like when you're working with someone for ages, like, oh, he's dead on as hell. Like, he's a bit of a laugh, he's a bit of a melter, whatever, and then he ends up being a manager. Like, why? When did you get all this power all of a sudden?
That's exactly it. Yeah.
No.
Or you see him on the staff do.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's scrapping like other workplaces,
And he's brought his
Like
weird
Southern Trust better than the Northern dickhead.
You
Fuck
do way better, mate. And he's brought his weird mate on to work with him, fucking Elon Musk.
Yeah. Oh, he's sound, mate. He's sound. He's with me.
He's just a
It's
bit
like,
of
wait, is he getting dinner? He didn't pay for this. No, he's with me, bro. Don't worry about it.
Did you chip in at the door? I was like, nah, man, it's alright. He's alright. He's a wee bit autistic. Leave
He,
him alone.
he
It's
hasn't even
alright.
fucking paid the fucking kitchen kitty for the last 2 months, So
Christ.
That's a bad thing, but I think Elon Musk is iffy now because like Donald Trump's going to give him loads of money, and like he's going to get somebody to the bars by the end of the year. 'Cause that's what he wants to do, isn't it?
yeah, seen there was that whole thing, Project 2025, that they were all like, Trump was like, it's not gonna happen, and the next thing you know, like the second he got in office, he was like, we're not doing exactly that, but we'll do 99% of it. He's like, we'll make gay marriage illegal. We'll take away all the diversity hires, which fucking could be doing well in comedy.
We're gonna revoke everybody's passports who I don't like.
Exactly.
No correlation.
I'm like, fucking Elon Musk is from South America, or was it? He's from South African. Yeah.
South African, yeah.
You're like, bro, fuck off.
Christ.
Was it fucking pot kettle black, dickhead?
Musk is like, if you've seen like all the videos from for like being at rallies and stuff, it's literally like the equivalent of your ma telling you, bring your wee brother. Like, just bring your brother.
Yeah, he's there fucking doing Nazi salutes and shit. He's
But
fucking-
what I love about the whole Nazi salute is some guy on Twitter. I saw a video about it, and some guy on Twitter was like, "You did a Nazi salute," and he's like, "Oh no, I was just putting my hand out to the crowd," and like it turned into like this guy demonstrating like in text about how what he did was a Nazi salute, and then how you put your hand out to the crowd. Like, it's really weird.
It's so funny. It's so funny to be like he just went, oh, it was. His whole debate about it was, I was just pouring my heart out to the crowd, and then everyone in the comments were going, it's a Roman salute, and I was like, that's how you know when it's wrong, because people are making up excuses that he didn't even know existed,
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Plus, also, I'm pretty sure the Roman salute is your hand is up and it's flat. Nazi salute's different. Your hand is
Elevated eyes.
elevated slightly.
yeah,
It's about the angle. And he did a Nazi salute.
Like, we all just seen Gladiator 2, mate. Like, we know that's not a Roman
I
salute.
know,
We've all seen
we all
Gladiator.
seen Paul Mescal kick the fuck out of cunts, you know. I didn't see it. I didn't see him say a fucking 3,000 year Reich once, you know.
I didn't see the Mandalorian throwing him up in that movie. Like, he wasn't at it. Denzel wasn't in it. Like, so. But no, it's ridiculous. It's honestly just the definition of a rich kid with just too much power.
Do you think Jewish people could get away with doing it? Like, is that their N word?
That's as far as their satirical comedy goes. Like, but like, you wouldn't see a German guy doing it.
I know,
It's
yeah.
illegal over there.
I know, like
It's not like illegal in Berlin to even reference like anything to do with like
Yeah.
World War II. Not just the Nazis, like World War
I
II
know,
in general.
like Mickey used to do a bit about it, where he would be like, he was talking to like German women in the crowd, and he was like, "Sieg Heil" or whatever, and they were all,
Yeah.
"Oh no, it's very embarrassing for us." He was like, "Embarrassing." I wouldn't call that embarrassing. Embarrassing's trying to shag your manager at the work too. You know, embarrassing's whenever you go, "Oh, when are you Jew?" and they're just fat. You know?
Embarrassing doing a Nazi salute and calling it a Roman salute.
No.
I saw a video of William Thompson once doing like crowd work, and he goes, so is there anybody from any more exotic places? And then some guys at the back put their hand up and go, "We're German." And William Thompson just goes, "Don't you fucking put your hand up."
I'm not going to touch that.
Yeah. I know. Like what's our version of that? Like, I don't think we get like there's anything in this. I think we just sort of leech off America with that sort of
I
stuff.
mean, I have retard. I
Oh.
could say retard. I'm autistic, so
Drop that bomb.
yeah.
Drop
Fair
that
enough.
bomb.
Yeah. That's
I suppose like we've got
me who said it 3 minutes ago.
two shots to Sam's face. Like, don't touch that mic like that, for fuck's sake.
See, I didn't call him it. I said it behind his back. No,
It's very nice.
I did. Yeah, I'm only joking. I forget. Sam is autistic, so I don't know whether you're going to be very literal about something or not. You know?
I don't know. I'm joking. I don't
Okay,
ever take
fuck.
it literally.
Just joking. Just joshing
I
about.
get fucking cancelled twice.
I
this
do
year,
like
you know?
doing that though, like with some of the comedians, because they think like when they no, not so much of like you guys stuff, but now when I meet a new comedian, obviously they know I'm autistic, so sometimes I'll pretend that like
Oh,
I
you
take
should lean
things
into it.
literally.
You should really like bully people with it, and you should like make them feel uncomfortable.
Oh, I do it all the time with Sean at bands. I will genuinely pretend I'm all nervous, and then I'll just get on and do brilliantly, and then walk off and go, "I was so nervous and stuff," just to
Yeah.
annoy him.
So you've been doing comedy just like under a year then, and
Yeah,
what's been your favorite gig so far?
I don't know.
This feels like the way I asked that question felt like, you know, in school whenever they would be like, right, when you hold the ball, you tell us about your week. You know?
You hold the mic.
This is like fucking GCSE French, but like, you know, I went to my friend's house and
Told Protestant Catholic jokes.
j'habite en cinéma. I don't know. I live in the cinema. I don't.
They toast
That's
Cabot.
Daniel Houston. Yeah. So what would be your favorite gig so far? Your favorite room to do?
I don't know. Probably the first time I did Pav.
The Bav, yeah.
It was great, like just doing that for the first
Yeah.
time, and like Luke's like so nice. Like I don't think I would still do it without Luke, because like there's been times with like Luke where I've been like, I don't think I can do this, and Luke's like, yeah, you can. You
Yeah.
can. You're great. Don't be worrying. You know?
He's the
Because
fucking.
I remember there was one point I was
Jedi
worried. I'm not
master.
writing any new bits. All these comedians are coming to new bits. He's like, you don't have to have new bits.
Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah.
reason it's called a set.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard Jordan Robinson do a new joke in 3 years. Like, you know, and that's not a dig. Like, this set's brilliant. You know, like he doesn't need to write a new bit.
He
That's the
kills
whole
every
point.
time. He kills every single time.
And
Yeah.
I've seen him. I've controversial. I've actually seen Jordan Robinson bomb.
Have you? Yeah.
So well, to be fair, we all bombed. We did a gig with Ross Mitchell. I probably shouldn't talk about this, but fuck.
No, do fucking.
Called
the bag.
Autistic on the Spectrum, and it was like at the Black Box on the main stage, right?
Oh, the
and we-
big room.
Yeah, the big room, and it was not like we were told like 2 minutes before we went on stage. There's kids in the audience. You're not allowed to swear. Well, not kids, but like younger people, like you know, like teenagers and stuff.
Right.
I'm like, okay, half my set has swearing in it, so I just went
Yeah.
up and swore anyway. And so did Ross Mitchell, to be fair. So like we were all like, who cares? And then I got up, and it was like, because it was for diversity. There's people like sign language doing sign language. So it's hard to comedy sign language. There's some dick up behind you just going just like this. Although it is fun because I did get to see the guy just give up on one of my jokes. He just went.
Just calling him out. Like, can you stop throwing up gang signs, please?
Yeah, and then but Jordan Robinson got up, and he was doing a bit, and like he was doing his bit about cock rings or whatever, and like it was so it wasn't fun. It was like he was delivered it well and stuff, but it was like nobody got it because the sign language artist like sort of didn't do it quite right, and it was really
Kids
hard.
want, like cock rings or something. What's going on?
Because every act that got up was like nervous as shit. Because like we're all like there's just some two guys beside you just going doing sign language signs. You're like, what?
That's funny. That's a funny story, actually. That's like a good like comedy story. I've never had a sign language interpreter at any gigs. I would
It's
be making.
fucking wank. You don't
I'd
want
just
to,
be saying
trust me.
shit for the sake.
No deaf people at my gigs. Sam McVea, 2025. They're not going to hear about it anyway.
Deaf people shouldn't do comedy. These fucking DIEs.
Get it out, fuck's sake.
No more diversity hires.
We've hit our quota. We got a guy from Lurgan here. It's all
No,
right.
but it's like I'm not annoyed at the fact that like they were on. I understand. I think it's a good for thing, but they were on the stage. You at the
Oh,
black
right
bo-
next
like
to you.
right next to you on the stage. At the black box, the light is big enough for them to be down on the flipping thing. Let me own the stage, and it means you know why I like to throw my book down.
Yeah.
It means I couldn't throw. I was too nervous to throw my book down. Cause sometimes I like to just when it's like a bigger stage like a sunflower, I just chuck it like right across the
Did you
stage.
think they were going to like interpret that?
Yeah, like I
The
would.
book down, they're all, and it's like I think they've seen me do it.
But like I was scared to like I was like, oh, the black box when I was planning out for ages. Oh, the black box is a big stage. I can really chuck it.
Yeah.
And I was too. I got up and was like, I can't chuck this because if I chuck this that way, I'll hit the other guy. And I chuck this. But it was like an Irish interpreter and an English interpreter.
An Irish one.
Yeah,
So
if you're like,
oh, like an Irish sign language interpreter.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. I mean, if you're deaf, you're deaf. Like it doesn't
But
matter how the
also,
word
like-
sounds.
but like
It
also,
means the same
who only
thing.
knows interpreting in Irish?
Yeah.
Like,
Just throws a couple of chucky yarn in there.
I feel
all
like
it is.
that's like extra. Like I'm all fucking Republican and all, but I feel like that's too far, Finian. You know, like like you've
I'm feeding too far.
you've went a step too far with the fucking republicanism there, learning fucking Irish sign language. People don't even know the fucking verbal words. Never mind the deaf words.
Do you speak Irish? Like, no, but I can sign it.
I know. Yeah, fucking hell. Oh,
Blame.
I imagine like anyone who can write in Irish is a fucking saint, literally. Irish joke. Like I don't know, but that would be fucking mental. Like having two.
It's just.
My whole thing would be to say the worst thing and see who's funnier saying it.
oh,
Like,
that's what
True.
Jordan Robinson, like as I said, sort of bombed a bit. So towards the end, I think he just gave up and just started saying, "Let's see what cock rings is," and just went through like every single swear word you could think of.
See,
Like, because he
that's-
was like last on and he was doing like 15 minutes and his material wasn't really working.
Yeah.
So he was just like, you know what, I'll just see what every single swear word I could think of is. And it was quite interesting because like you could see what the swear word, the sign language was for fuck. And you're like, it's not what you think. I can't remember.
See, I'm picturing cock rings just.
No, cock rings was genuinely just like something like that. Like it was something.
Could mean something
I
else.
think they're making it all up. I think if you're born deaf, you don't know. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, you don't know.
100%. Like, I always wonder, like, what do they thinking?
Yeah, that's exactly. That's it. What was it? Another Mickey Bartlett joke. This is a Mickey Bartlett episode. Mickey he used to say the Derry accent sounds like how deaf people think.
That's gross.
So if you want to go buy his tickets, you already know all the set now. So, but yeah, that's. Jeez, if we're going to get cancelled for anything, it's slagging deaf people.
Deaf people are dead on.
I
I work
know.
with a guy.
I'm just not
signed
going to put
as-
subtitles in this episode.
Fuck him.
Turn the captions off.
God, no, deaf people are dead on. I work with a fella. I call him Andy. He's, well, deaf as fuck, like.
Yeah.
But the only thing he ever taught me was, like, what's good? And that's it. But he's a fucking
Surfer, dude.
He's a chancer because it comes in handy the odd time. Because many times I'm like about to leave and he's like taking over for a shift. I'm like,
Yeah.
right, here's what you need to do tonight, and he'll just turn away. He's like, you fucking bastard. It's like, I know for a fact you're doing that on purpose. But use it up to it. But actually, to step back on what you were mentioning, do you not feel it's a bit detrimental? Like, obviously you've only done it a year, but if someone came to you before a set and said, yeah, don't joke about this, don't joke about that, because someone in the audience is sensitive.
But also it's like what really annoyed me about that particular gig was like Ross, and it wasn't Ross's fault. Like, and Ross didn't know that we weren't allowed to do it, and it was genuinely like, you do know that like half of comedy has swearing in it,
Yeah, I know.
and
The whole point in it is that it's like book a fucking child's magician or something if you don't want curse words, you know.
Exactly.
So
But also 'cause it was
doesn't help
all-
saying anything to Ross though. Ross is class. Like I genuinely love Ross.
yeah, he was
Good
a
guy.
great
Yeah.
guy, but like. That was the first time meeting Ross as well, so it was like,
Was it?
yeah.
For a
But like,
bottle of autism.
it's the first time
Who
he
can
booked-
be more socially awkward?
first time and last time he booked me, so there you go. But like it was like a really weird gig because like it just felt like you were doing it till I was doing it in front of like
Your parents?
no like I probably shouldn't fuck it, I'll say it. I am still in school. I go to a special needs school because I'm autistic. It honestly felt like I was doing it in front of like Down syndrome people and like because that's what it was. It was people with Down syndrome and all this sort of stuff. I'm gonna get your podcast cancelled, Justin.
You've said this is the first episode of the year because again I took a bit of a break and there's been worse shit said. You know,
Okay.
You're all there's been stuff cut. I have like a pile. I have like parts of the videos that people have wanted me to cut out that I've like put into like a file.
That's your
You
insurance.
probably shouldn't keep
That's-
that. Like,
That's my like, oh, if someone wants to try and take me down, we're all going down. Like, you know,
Taking the ship
what about
down.
them 3 N words you said that episode? You know, that you wanted me to cut out? What about that transphobia you wanted cut out? You know, like
Goodness.
that's I'm fucking taking everyone down. Like,
All right,
you cut that
what's that
half
called?
hour.
Like a there's like a word for that. Like a
blackmail.
no, it's like a dead switch or something. I can't remember. Anyway,
No, I think I know what you mean. Like, it's death switch, like, it just kills everything. Yeah.
like if I die and you try to do this, a feel safe. That's what it's my feel safe.
Yeah.
Everyone's going down by, you know, group chats are being leaked and fucking, you know, DMs are going out. And
Set lists are dropping.
I know, fucking all the like people complaining about inclusive, like, you know, the diversity in the scenes and stuff. It's just everyone's smoked. Comedy scene in Northern Ireland's done. You know,
Over. It's over.
me recording myself in green rooms and all. It's just fucking
That's crazy. Say
Yeah.
that again. He's red.
just with this.
Wait, why?
But that's like, I don't know. What were you saying there? Sorry.
So I was saying that like it was like it felt like it was just doing it to a bunch of people that like don't understand like funny, like what's funny.
It's a rough crowd. Like.
It's a really rough crowd because like they weren't like normal. I'm trying to. Like, they weren't normal people.
Sam? What do you mean?
They weren't
What do
like
you mean, you people?
they weren't like people that would like understand comedy, like because like they're like
They're all in the
they're
spectrum,
mentally
so-
like the age of like 2, so like they're
They
all
don't get my nuances at all.
get it.
Bro could have just saved himself that ball and said they're all in the spectrum, so they don't really understand the social cues of comedy.
probably could have said that, but,
But no, they're fucking retarded. They're Down syndrome. They're
Jesus Christ.
well, being on the spectrum, I don't say the word spectrum because I'm on the spectrum.
Fair enough. You're on it, so you don't see it.
Yeah.
Get off of it. I've masked myself off the spectrum. That's where I'm at right now. Like,
Is
That's-
that
can-
possible?
do you not-
I don't want to
do
Do
imagine
you not
that.
think you could just talk yourself out of it? Do you not think you could just be like, I'm not in the spectrum, and just convince yourself? You know, when people
Yeah.
go, you're asthmatic, just breathe. Like, what?
push
You're
it all down.
autistic? Just talk to the guy. Just order your McDonald's with no plain burgers.
just look me in the eyes. It's that simple.
And like,
I can't look people in the eyes. I'm doing it now.
Goodness.
I think you're so funny, Sam. Genuinely. I remember the last time I seen your set was. It wasn't the Kill Are We Comedy Club thing. It was, what one was that one?
Final?
Christmas, yeah.
Are we coming to the final one?
Yeah, that was the last
That I
time
didn't
I'd
fucking win.
and
Came 4th apparently.
who was it? Bonnie Martinez
Bonnie
won that?
Martinez
Yeah,
won.
I know.
I think I was well earned to be fair.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. He's edgy, but he's like
He's good.
He's
but, like,
right on
he
the
needs
line,
to change,
you
he needs
know?
to change, he's edgy, but like sometimes he'll say stuff to like you outside of like a set,
Yeah.
and like you don't know if he's joking. Like he's come up to me a few times and said like really controversial autistic things. I'm like, buddy, do you mean that, or are you just being nice? Like, are you like?
I think he's a lovely person. I think he's like he's very genuine, and there's like no bullshit with him, you know.
100%.
So I feel like if he's saying something, he would never say it in a mean way, you know.
Yeah.
That's I think he's great. I'm down to get him on here at some point just to see how big of a hole he could dig, you know.
It's an hour long fail.
It'll be cut down so much, just be a 2-minute long podcast. Like, no,
And me introducing him, me out of breath going, anyway, take it easy, folks.
That'd be a good one. I think he's on the same kind of spectrum, if you allow me, as like Declan McBride.
Yeah.
Like the same kind of tone.
Another one of my favourite acts. Wild.
Hilarious.
I've started booking him for everything that I'm booking recently. I
He's so
think he's
good.
so
I,
funny.
mean,
Like,
I probably shouldn't say this, but I didn't like how I joined a group chat recently for a gig, and Declan just said "fuck Sam." I opened it to
that was
fuck
for
Sam.
my gig.
And I'm like, thanks, Declan. And then he started, and then like I think it was you started like saying, "Oh, why are you saying fuck Sam?" He started, "He's young and fuckable." He said something like that. You're just like, Jesus Christ.
Young and supple. That was the words.
I didn't like reply because I was like, what am I supposed to say to this?
Here, you'll say that to your face as well.
He will.
That's what I love about him. He's just like, he's like the like uncle of the comedy scene, you know. So he's just like saying the most mental shit. He goes on stage and he's like, "Fuck, I hate my wife," and she's in the front row clapping for me. And like,
I love you, son.
he's like fucking class, but I love him.
I remember the first time I met him. I think it was in Bangor. Or no, it was that. I think it was Bangor. The first time I met him, and I couldn't stop laughing because he just said "town bicycle," and like I couldn't stop laughing at that bit. And like I think I ruined it because like I watched the video back because the guy like sent like all of us the videos for some reason. I
Yeah.
don't know why. But I watched it back and you can just hear me just laughing in the background like at the first joke.
Yeah, he did a joke at the gig you ran in Yorkgate.
Oh, Gallagher's Bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monaco. Or no, Manic.
Yeah, Manic, and
Gigger. Fuck me.
That's another thing I want to chat to you about, actually, about running a, because we had said we were going to do like a collab on the roast bottle, but fuck the roast bottle. And so if you're up for doing the unspoken gig that I've got coming up, which will plug all the gigs and stuff, I might just do a whole separate video and put it at the very start anyway, but like I was going to ask you if you and like Don and Marty want to be part of, like, you know, that gig that I'm running.
100%, man.
Just to go like do like a night. That's what I was saying about like June or July or something, you know.
Yeah.
And we'll get all promoted as like ourselves, you know.
Dude, that wee trio we've got going on is so good. That's honestly one of the
It's
best.
so funny. Is are mental. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I love about it. I love that yous are just like fucking, like, everyone's got a different style of comedy in it. You know, nobody's the same. Everyone's just different, and
We're just hype men for each other as well. That's all.
that's what you want as well. Like, never lose that.
Oh,
That's
of course.
corny to say, but never like let like comedy come between it. You know, it's fucking because you were mates beforehand. You know, everyone I've met in comedy, I've met through comedy. So, you know, it's a bit cutthroat at the minute.
I've had comedians come up to me and say like, "You're always just straight over like your wee clique." I was like, "Our clique?" It's like, "Yeah, ever since you guys started, you're all buddy buddy." It's like we were friends for ages. Like, this is the time I get to see them. Like,
this is my brother. Like,
pretty much. Like we're all adult men with full time jobs. It's like this is the only time I get to see these guys.
no, that's literally like I don't get that. Like, I get that there is cliques and stuff throughout comedy, but I'm also like, at the end of the day, some people just gravitate towards it. Like, you know, we all don't really gig as much together as I would gig with someone else. Randomly, I always end up gigging with the Derry ones more than anyone.
Yeah.
I'll always be in a lineup with the Derry ones. I don't know why. They're great, like, but I think people go, "Oh, he's from Craigavon, he's basically Derry." But
Yeah.
even though I'm like fucking hour and 80 minutes or something away, which it doesn't make sense, but yeah.
It's kind of similar, like we were talking about earlier. Like you find, like, especially for gigs, like before a gig or before your set, it's kind of just like hanging out by the water cooler, so to speak, or you're getting a cup of coffee at work. Like, well, how's the shift in this week? It's like, I'm working flat out.
Exactly, yeah. It's the same thing. Like,
You find yourself asking like, "Oh, what gigs are you coming up?" And like, you know, like you just ask people that. It's like the main question I'll ask to
Yeah.
Any gigs?
I know.
Any
I
gigs?
think people are sly about that, though. I think people are asking for the same way, like people will go, "Oh, is that a tattoo? Let me see your tattoo." Yeah, then no worries. And you don't even get the fucking. And they're like, "Mate, look at this fucking photo of my daughter and an elephant." Like, you know. So that's you know, I feel like that's why people do it, because people go,
Something
"What gigs
flex.
have you got coming up?" And then you're like, "Oh, well, I've got," and they're like, "I'm doing fucking Lavery," you know. Like, I feel like that's how it is at the minute, but fuck the scene, man. Fucking,
It's all a bit of crack anyway. Like,
I'll hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing. But
exactly.
I had a question to ask you.
About the gig, something like that. I actually had a point. Oh yeah, no, I was saying about Declan McBride. Like, I
Yes,
agree with what you
Declan,
said.
fucking hell. I'm the worst fucking show host ever.
I even say co-host, like, yeah, it's our gig now. No, it's just the way, man. Like, many times, like, I've spoken to him before a gig. I've had him on for 2 separate gigs now. It was the first night at Monaco for Manic, and then Gallagher's first night. But it's just 'cause he's an absolute smasher. But every single time before he's about to go up, I've said to him, like, "Right, you need anything, blah 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 blah," and just the shit that comes out of his mouth, I just have to look at him and just think to myself, like, keep that front stage. Like,
Yeah.
don't waste that on me.
I think he's brilliant. He's real old school humor, like 80s and 90s humor, you know.
It reminds me of like a 70s comedian, the way he
Yeah,
talks. Like,
yeah, you could, like, you know, real Rodney Dangerfield or something, like, you know, "I'm getting no respect, I've got a bath bomb stuck up my ass over you. You touch the nipples, get cool FM.
It's like Snow Fairy in you or something. Hey, I hate my wife.
I know that, yeah, so like, yeah, exactly, he is like a 70s comedian, and I think he needs to get more recognition, so that's why I've been booking him for everything, because I'm like, I love that he's just mental. I think that's what I was talking about before this. I want everyone to have like a platform, no matter what your style of comedy is, you know, if you're edgy, you know, or if you're an alternative act, whatever the fuck it is, or you're just straight down the middle, just, "Oh, I tell observational jokes," whatever, you know. I just want everyone to have a platform for it, and just
was not one night at Monaco. It was the first night at Monaco.
Yeah.
I was there, but I wasn't on. Like, wasn't there not a thing where like somebody in the crowd got really offended by Declan? Was there not something? Like, there was a girl that was sitting, like, I was sitting with, I think I was sitting with you. Remember, it was like that sort of, like, right at the bars, like the seat, like at the
oh yeah,
side.
like a wee cove.
Yeah,
type
I was
thing,
sitting there, and remember, there's girls all sitting around, like there, like around the side bit. And I think, didn't they complain to you or something?
They did leave, but to be fair, that was definitely, like, I've had plenty of gigs where I've overheard people be like, "That was not on, like, that was rude." But, like, I'd say in that instance, and, like, I didn't even, it's probably, if Declan sees this, it's probably the first he's going to hear about it.
Yeah.
But with one of his jokes that he made, it hit kind of close to home because of recent events. And it wasn't even a case of, like, "Oh, like, ways up. But, like, there was legitimate reaction. And I think it's one of those cases, like, I'm a big believer, like, comedy should not be hindered. Like, I think I'd be like, "It's fucking art, man," but, like, it's performance, it is what it is. Like, you shouldn't really try and hinder that whatsoever. But it was definitely a case of, like, I'll take that on, because I
Yeah.
was pretty much like, I've run the gig obviously with Daniel and Marty,
Yeah.
but it was a case like, I'm gonna take this head on. I'm not gonna mention it to Declan, because I feel like if you go to a comedy show especially and you see a comic, I feel like, especially because obviously we're lucky enough to be on the scene for so long and we see so many comedians, you can really tell like the first 2 seconds like they mean that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. You can see the acts where you go. There's a lot of not to sound like fucking woke people, but there's a lot of people who would go on stage and maybe take a job at Straight White Men or something, you know. And I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about that, but I do see that and I go, that's not a joke. You mean that? Like, you hate
Yeah.
us? Like,
Yeah, but as you can always tell, because you should always punch up. You should never
Oh,
punch
yeah.
down in comedy, which is totally
Definitely.
fine.
yeah.
I think there's a comic. It's gonna hit me. She makes a great. Who is it? Megan Hop made a great joke. I'm not gonna butcher it, but she made a great joke about men being predators, like women's only predator on the scene. And I remember being, I think it was Black Box or something, and it was like a room full of guys, and I was the only fella laughing. I felt so bad. But I was like, if it's this joke, it's fucking genuine.
I
Joke.
think if it's if it's funny, you can say anything. I think
Yeah.
if you say it in a good tone with no malice behind it, and it's a clever joke, and it's like, you know, it's been said a billion times. Like, but if you can do a joke that can touch on a dodgy subject, but you're doing it in a way where nobody's actually the victim of the joke, or if you're doing it in a way where the person who is the victim is laughing at it, I feel like that can be anything can be said. You know, like
100%.
I feel like any word can be said. Any fucking, I have no problem with like anything like that. You know, but I think sometimes there is like a bit of, you can be offended by, as you were saying, like people, they got offended because of recent events that they had actually went through. That's different than just being like, I didn't like that.
So
You know,
that's
I
just
didn't get
fucked
it.
me
So,
off.
yeah, like that's like
Yeah.
that's in their own case. That's them going, I didn't like that because I'm going through that at the minute. So blah blah blah. But like, that's not like a universal offensive thing. You know, like it's
Yeah, of course. It was a particular joke. Obviously, I think it was in regards to like, he jokes a lot about his son.
oh
And
yeah,
if somebody joked about his son being like a vegetable,
oh yeah,
but it was just the
Yeah.
context. And like, to be fair to these people, like they did, I think it was appropriate where they left, like they took themselves away from it. And even at the point, I was like, are they okay? Like, what's going on?
yeah.
The manager told me like, yeah, you want to speak to them about it. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I took it on, like I'm so apologetic.
Yeah.
And they were understanding as well, like we understand this is the joke.
Yeah,
That's why they removed themselves. Which I think if a joke really, that wasn't even offensive. I think they were just genuinely upset because it reminded them of something else.
It's more just like like a reminder rather than like, because he could have went out of it, like he made that joke about himself, so it wasn't like a
Aimed towards anybody. Is that
yeah,
right?
it was like, oh, this is my experience, even though it is all just made up and fucking, you know, it's a load
Yeah,
of shit
exactly.
or whatever, but like it wasn't like a
Wasn't aimed towards anyone in particular.
yeah, so that's exactly why I'm like, that was done better than what that joke could have been done, you know, like that could have went very south.
I've seen it on the opposite end. Like one of my very first ever gigs, Pavilion. It was Newcomers Night. Do you know the comedian I can't remember who was on, who's still on the scene, was like George Robinson, and it was a great crack meeting everybody. It was hilarious. We were actually speaking about it earlier. Like William Thompson, all was at it. He was MCing. There was a particular guy. I don't think he does comedy anymore, but he went up, and his whole joke was about like the Indian kids in his estate, like their names, and like I remember just like looking at people and like at the other comedians, my mates, and be like,
Was this guy white?
no, he was dark. He was dark brown. No, he was about as white as a fucking pint of milk, like, and it was just. I was trying to give him benefit of doubt, and I was like, I think the whole punchline here is that their names are Indian.
Yeah.
I was like, that's literally the only joke
I
here.
know, that's for one, that's hack as fuck. That's like, yeah, everyone will always be like, if they're from a different country, their names are funny. You're like, at the end of the day, they look at our names and go, what the fuck is that? You know, like, what do you mean you're not named Muhammad? You know, like,
Exactly. One of those common names in the world.
that's exactly. So it like, that's what it's like, hack humor. You know, it's I feel like
Bottom of the rung kind of stuff. It's like anybody could have made that joke.
at the same time, they're like, I get from new acts trying to be edgy and stuff. My first ever set was me talking about trying to send a dick pic, but I do it, and then I got that joke stole from me. Remain nameless, and they don't do comedy anymore, which is good. But I was telling it about like I'm trying to take it from different angles, and I'm like using my phone to describe it, and then I go like from below, and I go, oh, it looks massive from that angle, and then I'm like, right, okay, here we go, and then next thing you know, I catch my reflection in the background, and it's just my face in the back like this, you know, and then that was the whole bit, and it was like, I don't know if you've ever tried to wank over yourself, but it's doable, and that was me being like trying to be edgy, but it's so stupid, like it wasn't funny or anything, like it was like what the fuck, you know,
Like it would have got a good laugh in the playground kind of vibe.
exactly,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it was.
I suppose I think Sam kind of touched on it earlier. A particular joke I made. I think we're just talking about like sex jokes in general. Like it doesn't like not every joke doesn't need to be super intelligent and like
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, I think if you get a laugh, that's all you need.
No, but what I hate, right, is when like certain comedians. Obviously, I've known doing it for years, so I don't really know. But like, I hate it when comedians go up, right? Isn't my dick funny? This is my dick. It's funny. But like, what I was saying to Conall Rhymes is the way he does it is like he talks about Lidl, and that's compares it to. I'm not going to butcher your joke, but like Lidl, you know, like the
Yeah,
Lidl the size of my dick. That's a funny joke because it's like
Weird metal island.
It takes it like it takes it takes a minute for you to get it, you know.
Yeah, no,
If you're
that's,
looking, you can find my dick in the middle out little. It's on offer. You get the club card.
that's what I mean though. Like it's like I've had 100 jokes that are just fucking hack, and you know they get a laugh at the end of the day. I've done just I don't know a load of bullshit ones, but I feel like they just need to. I don't know where I'm going with this. I haven't done this in like 3 months, and I'm shite out of it. So,
I think what you're kind of coming from is like where I was aiming towards there. It's just like there's a certain like kind of line you have to cross at a certain point. Like this is pure like how would you say, like as I've mentioned, like schoolyard humor, and
Yeah.
like this is kind of intelligent.
yeah,
Not to say like it needs to be intelligent. Like I'm one of the shittest comedians out there. Like
Mm.
I don't really think too much about my jokes, but at the end of the day, you should make yourself laugh. But
there's people as well who go from schoolyard humor and just stay that way, and it ends up pub humor. And that's exactly how some acts will go. At the same time, it's if you get a laugh, I don't care, because all I want, for example, if I'm running a gig, I don't care how clever your jokes are. I care if you're getting laughs. I don't care about how well written it is or, you know, whatever. I care if the crowd is laughing at you. You could go up there and pull your dick out, and if the crowd laughs at it, happy days. If they don't laugh, I'm fuming at you. Like that's all I care about is getting laughs. I don't care about like I'm not a comedian kind of guy. I don't like look at jokes and go, oh, like that the fucking how he wrote that is fucking blah blah
So
blah.
clever.
I'm just
Genius.
like he hit the fucking crowd rumbling there, like so that's why like you'll notice when I go on stage if I'm down on my hole I'll scrap the set. Like I'll just be like fucking here, what's your name? You know, like
crowd work immediately.
I'm
That's
just
what's your
like,
dick.
and people hate that. People don't like that. There's acts on the scene who hate that, and I'm like, but would you not rather me save the show a wee bit and make sure people are still in a good mood, or would you rather me stick with my bullshit material that's not going to work on that crowd and like not read the room at all? You know, so I don't know. It's just
It's one of those things people
weird.
don't mention, like especially even yourself. Maybe you've noticed yourself. Some you've only been out a year,
Yeah.
but as I've done it, I hit the 3 year mark in September there. Like I find myself a lot thinking like it isn't so important to keep an eye on the crowd. Like we actually mentioned earlier about some particular gigs where it's so detached from the audience, like you can't even see reactions, can't even see their faces. Like I think it was once or twice in Madden's where like they were still playing around with the lights at the time,
yeah.
and like you're just completely blinded. And it's
Aye.
like I can
remember,
see.
You set a torch here on you. Like,
Yeah, exactly, and like that's fine, like it's whatever. But like you can see people at the back, but like my front row is like I can't fucking see anybody. It's like I have
Yeah.
no idea how I'm doing. Like even mentioned, we spoke about the Four Brothers on the way up here. Great crack, lovely podcast. It was so hard to gauge because you cannot see their expressions whatsoever.
oh yeah.
You know, but like you know yourself when you're telling jokes on stage, if you can see a good reaction from the crowd, it fuels you to try and keep going.
And then you see the one person not laughing out of whatever amount of people are in that crowd, and that one person you want to boot them in the face.
Do you know what the problem is about? I always find about bands, like it's a good gig and all, right? But the problem with bands is those dickheads never laugh. They just sit and smile at you. And you're
Oh,
like,
yes.
they'll just sit like in the front row and smile. Are you enjoying this?
Yeah,
And then they'll come to
Luke
you,
McGibbon
great,
said, "You're
great
more-
set,
You're
great
more of a
set. you know.
smiler than a laugher. Yeah.
And you're like,
He said at the back.
if you find it funny, please laugh because I
No,
don't
no.
know if you're finding it funny. You know?
I've started leaning into that. If you hear me at a comedy show, if I actually find something funny, you'll hear me do a big dopey laugh from the back. Like I'm just going full Ross Mitchell with it, and I'll just sit at the back and I'll go ha! Like, and like I feel like that also makes the crowd more comfortable. Like the crowd, once they hear other people laughing, they'll go, I want to laugh now. You know, I don't want to be the guy sitting here fucking not laughing. You know.
The problem with Ross Mitchell though is he literally laughs. He like not in a bad way, but he will laugh at you if you're bombing.
Oh yeah,
You can hear him in the background.
I've had jokes where it just has not landed and the whole way through, and then I'll say the most stupid thing ever, and I'll just be looking at the crowd like, come on, like that was fucking
That's genius.
like and he'll just be at the back pissing himself at the fact that it didn't get a laugh, and I'm like, that weirdly makes me feel better. Like I feel better about it if I know the comedians are going, fuck, you're down, you know, like rather than coming off and the comedians being like, good set, man, good set, oh well done, well done. I'd rather you just go, here, you fucking died there, you know. So that makes a better like camaraderie around it, you know.
I've always noticed the body language after Dan and like doing well. Every time I've bombed or like just did not as great, I'm coming off and it's a dap. It's like good job, man. If you fucking smashed it, you're not shaking hands on anybody. You're walking back to your seat, just fist pumping everybody there. Like,
I've just started like saying to people, I've just started being like, you fucking died there. like if people come off stage, I won't be like, oh well done. No, like I'll be like, what the fuck happened there? Like I'll always try and give someone like some sort of constructive criticism, you know, and be like I'm not good enough to give criticism, but I'll also be like, you know, like you died in your hole. Let's be honest. Let's work out how you could do better next time. Not in a dickheadish way. I want everyone just to do well. I don't want people down on their hole. You know.
I have to agree. There's nothing worse when you've not done your best and someone comes over to you like, "That was a good job. That was a good job." But like, maybe just try better next time. It's like, give me some points here. Don't just tell me I can do better.
Yeah,
like,
you got some laughs in there. Fuck up.
fuck up,
dickhead.
You did well to start.
I know. Oh yeah, you lost him towards the end, didn't you? And I'm like, when was the end? The last 9 minutes of a 10-minute set. Like,
Exactly. I lost him. I couldn't fucking find him at all.
I was in there on my own.
Disappeared.
Jesus, it feels
Like a
something.
magic trick, for fuck's sake.
But it's also something we were talking about earlier, where like me on the scene being like a very young act,
Mm-hmm.
I get talked down to a lot, which really annoys me.
Yeah.
It's like
I can
people,
see that,
like
yeah.
comedians will come up to me and they'll go, "Oh, that was great, Sam." And you're like, "You are not my grandmother. You don't fucking do that. You know, I'm not a dog that you've trained to do comedy. I'm trying to work on it. You know."
Give you a treat and all.
Here's a star. Well done. You tried.
Tell you what, when me and you go get ice cream after this, there's mods across the street there.
Let me get you a nice wee Guinness. Well done. Well done.
What age are you, Sam, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 19.
You're 19, yeah. You're not that young, like, you know, there's been younger acts on you. Like, William started when he was 17, like, you know, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, so there is, like, younger acts on the scene. I've seen a few other ones, but that's...
But like I'm saying, like
Like,
at the
they-
moment,
they-
it feels like I'm the only younger one. And
Yeah,
like, it just
I
get
probably
talked
think you're probably the youngest at the moment. Like, out of what I know, I literally haven't been about for the last few months, so
Although
I
it's
don't know
funny
if
because
anyone's near now.
I've been told like loads of times who were the younger acts before me, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
so-
oh, it goes. Guess what, Sam? It goes Adam Byrne, Daniel Houston, then you, and I'm like, I don't really give a shit.
It's
but
funny
sure,
because Adam
thanks.
Byrne's 24. It's like,
Is he?
Yeah, he's not like a fucking... He's not
Apparently,
like
apparently he's
young.
younger act. Apparently he's the third youngest act. I don't really
I
believe
think
it.
I was like the youngest at one point, and I was like 21. You know, whenever I started, the people were like, "What? You're 21?" And I think it was more of a personal thing than a comedy thing. They were just more like,
Yeah.
47, bro." Like,
I got that a lot when I first started, but it was because I was hanging out with Marty and Daniel who were in their 30s. And like, what are you, like 32? I was like, bro, I'm 23.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Rise up.
But I don't know. Like that's I'm fucking. I feel weak at the thought of people being like the.
Well done. Oh, you tried. You did your best. It's like,
Happens so much at Man's. Like I'll bomb at Man's, and like somebody will come up to you, and go, "Oh, well done, you, Sam. You
In
did
the middle of
so
them talking to
good."
you, they're like wiping their. You've got something in your face there.
No, your wee
Fixing your hair up.
tie's not tied enough there. Let me tie that for you.
Fix that. Do a wee button on you. No, fuck.
Do you want me to take you to your bus stop? Is your dad picking you up after right?
Although that's funny you said also, because like now that people know that my dad picks me up a lot, so people will just go, "Is your dad picking you up?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, but that's not your fuck business."
Don't be ashamed. You're the only comic on the scene with a good relationship with your dad.
No, there's like you're in the minority there, man. They're more just like, wait, you've dad? Like, I think it's more of just like a panic thing, you know.
I can't remember who it was, but one time an act, I'm not going to say who it was, who I didn't really like, was like, "Here, can I come home with you and your dad?" And I just went, "No," and walked off. Because I was like, "I'm not having you in my car."
There's nothing more awkward than that post-gig like drive home and someone's like, "Can I get a lift in there
Oh,
too?"
can I
Like,
hop in, man? I'm like, yeah,
The funnest
Yeah.
time I've ever had is, you know, Rare Witch?
yeah.
Me and my dad and him all drove down from, like, it was a gig in Bangor, and we drove back to Belfast. That's the funnest drive back I've ever had in my life.
With Rare Witch.
Yeah, we were having those random conversations. It was like so weird.
Mine was one time we were doing the Hearth Bar in East Belfast, and I got blacked out after my set. Like me, James McKegney, Jack McGee, and Rachel McPeak were all just sitting getting blocked. And I was like, I don't know, how have we ended up here? Like, and like it was me and James McKegney, and I was like, James, how did you come out? Like, I was like that drunk, where I was asking him about his sexuality and shit, you know.
How nervous were you in the boys' room?
Literally, and he like. He got so drunk, and I was like, "Where do you live, James?" And he was like, "Oh, like probably get a wee taxi just up the road." And I was all, "Morning, the fuck." And my girlfriend's mum and my girlfriend came to collect me, And I was all, can you give James a lift home? And it was me, James McKegney, my girlfriend, and her ma in the car. And I was like, it's James, he's gay. And they were like, you didn't need to tell us that. And I was like, oh, but he's class, like, he's fucking hilarious. And all. But it was great. They were doing like a wee whiskey tasting like next door, where they were giving out like free shots of whiskey. And me and James would just like disappear every now and then throughout the set and just come back a wee bit more like hazy, you know. But that was funny that my set itself didn't go great because there was like some big famous rugby player in the crowd, and then that bar is like a big spiral staircase up to the second floor,
Right.
but there's no doors or anything, so you can just hear the bar downstairs. So it was kind of like, fuck, it was too loud and stuff. But it was that was the like funniest car journey. Or the time it was me, there was a girl called Sue. I don't know if you've ever met Phil Galt and Kieran Franco, and Phil Galt's car was the loudest thing ever. He had something wrong with like his exhaust or something. I don't know what it was, or his catalytic converter, you know. And it was like a jet engine. It was like fucking whenever he drove it, it was like
Jesus.
And like you were like in the car deaf. You ever walked out of like a nightclub or something and your ears were ringing?
Yeah.
That's what the whole car journey was like to Derry. And me and Kieran were in the back just pretending to sleep so nobody would talk to us. And them two were talking about what antidepressants they were on, and I was just like nudging Kieran, being like,
Write that down.
yeah. But that was a weird car journey as well.
One of my
Or
worst-
me and Donnie Kingston just driving to Derry together. That was a weird one.
He's a lad.
Oh, he's lovely. Like,
I'd love to see him more.
yeah.
honestly.
I
And,
did Derry recently with Ross Mitchell,
yeah.
and we got shamed for leaving early
Why?
because we were both on like together,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the usual MC. It wasn't Rory. It was another guy, and he just got up and said, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to have two Protestant autistic guys."
Was it Darren McKay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got up, we just like left, and Darren was all, "Why are you leaving?" We're like, "We've got to get home to Belfast," you know, like.
That's fair.
That's funny. Why the fuck?
One of my worst ever experiences going back from a gig, and let's say who the comedian was. Well, it was me and the guys, me, Marty, and Daniel, and two other comedians drove up to Derry
Yeah.
for Slaughterhouse. Shout out, rest in peace. If you're still going, I don't know.
I hope they bring it back.
I
I
do too.
headlined that one time. It was great.
I only did it once, but it was a great crowd. It was really dead on. Like,
I think I done it 3 times. One time, 2 times I MC'd it, and one time I headlined it. Or I'm talking opposite shit. First time I opened the show, second time I MC'd it, and then the third time I headlined it. I went up the fucking
right up the roster.
yeah. But and every time I was like, this is brilliant. Every single time I was like, this is great. You know,
Such a nice crowd.
bring it
but
back, Mick, if you're watching this.
too
Yeah,
bad. I know you're raising the child, man, but what are you doing? The comedy comes first.
yeah, exactly.
Sick.
Fuck them kids.
Bring the child to the comedy club. Be
Start
fine.
working on kids. Start working on jokes. But probably one of the worst drive backs ever. But just purely because it was so awkward and silent. Because when we were leaving, everyone did great. It was a great crack and all, lovely time. We were like, should we get something to eat? No, like, should we get something to eat? Like, nah. And then one of the comedians who on that mention was like, I've got a wee funny smelling cigarette if anybody wants to partake. I'm like, I'll take a wee puff out there. And then like within 5 minutes, as soon as we're driving back in Marty's car, this particular comedian threw up on himself. And it was just like dead silent for like 5 minutes.
Can you cover your mouth and mouth it to me? I'll cut it out either way. Who it was? I'm going to cut it out either way. Don't worry. So who was it?
Yeah, he's a gentleman. He's a fucking great
no,
guy.
Don't worry, I'll cut it out.
But we've all waited it before. But it was just the other comedian. I'll not give him the embarrassment either. But I'll say it. You're going to cut it right now. Now I'm tired.
Right.
And he was like, "Here, guys, he's thrown up on himself." But it was literally like a 5-year-old walked in to tell the parents, like, "Here, the baby's threw up all over himself," and it was just dead quiet the entire drive back, and it was just silence, and it was just like, just sucked. I was like, we really wanted to enjoy that victory of a good gig, and it was just like quiet on set.
I think the last time I journeyed with comedians in a car was I drive everywhere by myself. I'll always ignore a chat when someone goes, "Is anyone driving to here?" I'm always like, "Don't fucking talk to me." I'm not trying to be a dick. I just hate the car journeys with people. I like listening to music really loud and like fucking just vibing out and keeping a clear head to think about my set and all. And because once I'm in the venue, I can't think about my set. I'm just like, there's too much going on, like fucking whatever. And the last time was that I ran a gig in the 720 bar in Derry, and it was me, Soupy, Adam Byrne, and Kieran Franco, and I was doing like 97 down the motorway, and they were all like in the car, were like white knuckling the seats, like fucking scared shit. I drive like a maniac. Sorry for any, if you're a pedestrian, watch out. And like they were literally just like, and Adam was like, "Man, are you alright? You're doing like 93 there." And I was like, "It's all good, perfect." Like,
Shit, it's all good.
fucking, you know. But so like, but that was the last time I think I was in a car with comedians. I don't know. I hate it. But me and Pete used to drive everywhere together because obviously he only lives right the corner. So
First.
and you know, I haven't since. But it's just I fucking hate it. Like I hate the awkwardness. I'll always. Don't get me wrong. Like if I'm already in Belfast and we're driving to Derry, I'll go. Right, hop in. I'm not going to make you fucking get the Derry on your own, like, you know. But like, if someone's like, "Oh, can someone collect me from like fucking, you know, Yorkgate and bring me to Bangor?" I'm like, "Fuck off!" There's a fucking train goes.
Yeah, some people take the mic. Like some people definitely take the mic. It's like I know I'm 2 miles away, but can one of you guys pick me up for a 4-mile drive? It's like,
and I'm not saying like it's bad that they're asking. They need to get to the gig.
Of course,
I'm not the one to ask. I'm gonna, especially like. If you're in the car with me, expect to be deaf and expect to have like underground rap music blurred in your ear, like, you know.
of course.
So like you're not going to enjoy the experience of driving with me, you know. Especially whenever it's a 30-mile-an-hour zone and I'm doing 76 in it, you know. So it's just not worth getting in the car with me, you know.
So if you ever bomb at a gig I'm at, I'm definitely not driving back home with you.
Oh yeah, I know.
First.
You'll get all the gossip, so you will. But
tea piping. First. It's just one of the things. It can make or break a gig for you because if it's shit crack on the way there, you're not gonna have any crack at the gig. Like,
oh yeah, I know. That's what I mean. That's why I do it. Like I'm just like hype myself up and make sure I'm in a good mood either way. And then you get there, everyone's in a pissy mood, and you're like, "Oh, you're not gonna kill my vibe," you know.
I think one of the best experiences I ever had with it was once it was me, Marty Dan, David Campbell, and Niall Taggart. Shout out legends. We were all really nervous by going to Chicken Box. It was our first time doing it. Yeah. And it was just pure fucking shit and bricks. As soon as we got there, we all fucking smashed. Yeah, drive back, it's electric.
Your first time doing Chicken Box, that was? Yeah. It's crazy. My first time doing it, I didn't know anybody down at it. I'd never met any of the Derry comedians or anything. And I didn't drive at the time, so I got the train and didn't realise how fucking... It was like a 3-hour train or something.
Serious?
I had to leave at like 3 o'clock in the day to get to it.
Fuck that shit.
And I was like, whole way up around the North Coast and all. I was like... This is not worth it. I was like, see, once I'm driving, I'm never getting the train again. And got there, didn't know anyone. I booked a hotel and stayed overnight and all. I was like, oh, I'm gigging in Derry. This is class. This is the biggest shit ever. Not knowing that I was like, oh, it's Chicken Box. It's just an open mic. Like it's.
It was surprising to see the actual size of Chicken Box when I finally got there.
I like it though. That's why I'm running.
I thought it was weird. Like it was very. I got heckled a lot. Like there's a girl from like East Belfast, and she kept going for my set. She's going like. I'm from East Belfast, and I can tell from your accent, love was great. And she just kept on thinking,
see from your lack of father.
And then after she just like frosted her phone and thing, and it said, "Look yourself up" on my Instagram. I was like, I can't not like look myself up. Like I don't want to like put like some random thing. But I was trying to quickly think like what's a comedian I could look up to like I don't like that I can just get her to follow.
Should take her phone, start airdropping all her nudes to people.
Fuck you, block him, text her, texting dad. I never loved you that much anyway. Fair play. I think I got heckled the first time.
He's like, who's this?
Who this be? I got heckled too. I had a girl in the front row who just recently went through a breakup, which she completely kept telling everybody in the audience.
You get them ones, man.
Such a melt, man. Such a melt. I got a good couple clips out of it, but it was just a case of like, I think I was maybe 3rd or 4th on, and she was just talking through everybody's set, and I just thought to myself, like, I think we mentioned something earlier about hecklers, it's like once or twice fine, but like when it's a case, especially like every other act had to deal with it, it's like if you come at me, it's like I am gonna rip you to pieces.
Oh yeah, I would be. I would have quite a knack for making somebody fucking leave the room. Like, you know, like if you... There was one... was any use there that time I was MCing? The last time I MC'd Bad Otter in Newton Ards. And there was a woman in the crowd just started heckling. Like, literally made Aaron Butler flip out. Like, I was hosting it and I was like getting her to fuck up. And because it came in the second half and she had this big weird fucking... You know, like the singer Pink?
Yes.
Like that big weird fucking lesbian quiff she has. Yeah. Like that, she had that sort of haircut, but it was like pink. And I was like, where's the other fucking half of Team Rocket, dickhead? You know? And like, I was calling her everything and like, I was trying to get, and eventually I got her just to fuck up because I was like, you're in a fucking dick swinging contest here. Well, black man, like, you know, you don't understand. I'm going to fucking ruin your life here. And she was like, well, you know, whatever. Like, you know, trying to slag me. She was like, well, what's under the hat and all? And I was like, I'm going to fucking ruin your life here. And and then she eventually got me to the stage and I just started like, I did like 4 minutes just fucking ruining her, like turning her into fucking sawdust, like. And then Aaron Butler went, she eventually fucked up and I was like, right, okay, we're going to get on with the show here. and then Aaron Butler went up and she started on him, and like, I mean, it got worse for him. I think I was like, oh, I've made this better because she's fucked up.
Yeah.
I think I riled her up, and then I was like, shit. I think I've made her pissed off, and then she's took it out on Aaron, and I was like, that's my fault there, you know, like, whatever. But that was like the last time I got heckled badly. But I fucking like, I'm pretty sure she's going to kill herself, you know, at some point.
So that's a win in the comedian book anyway. But hecklers are weird.
The worst heckle I've ever had was at one of your gigs. Do you remember?
Oh, Gallagher's, yeah.
No, well,
Monaco or Gallagher's?
I've had bad experiences both your gigs.
Check them out, folks. They're really good.
But they're good gigs. But I always get heckled at them. So
I've done class at both. So.
The first one I did was Monaco, or Monaco. I don't know.
Monaco.
One of them. And I have a bit about Andytown, and I said Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's the Minton City Centre, it'll be fine.
You started it.
And then they started saying North of Ireland, but I couldn't. It was like the microphone that day was like really like reverby. I couldn't hear what they were saying, so I just thought they were saying the Northern Ireland. I was like, great. Like I was just kept going, great, yeah,
well done.
And I was trying to do the bit. And like they wouldn't let me get it out. Like every single thing I said, it ruined the punchline. But the whole point of that bit is it's meant to be bad deliberately. That's how I wrote it. You know, it's meant to be a very bad bit. But because they were heckling, it ruined the entire bit.
Dickheads. I hate that. I hate whenever like you're trying to do a bit and somebody just completely cuts it off with a heckle, like, and you're like, or I've had it where people have guessed the punchline, and I'm like, and you write new material for one, but whenever people guess the punchline, I'm like, I'm gonna follow you home. Like I'm gonna kill your family in front of you. You know, like there's nothing worse. I hate people who, especially, I don't know what it's like because obviously we're comedians. We have experienced what it's like to be heckled, but I would love to know what it's like to feel like a punter. Like you watch TikTok clips of Paul Smith, and do you think it's good to heckle? Like, do you think that's what they want? Like, just because you're seeing some arena seller get heckled who's doing an hour-long set anyway, or Paddy McDonald who's doing an hour and a half, you know, like they can get away with being heckled and they can go, right, fuck up and all, whatever. But like, if someone's doing a 5-minute set and you're trying to heckle it, go fuck yourself. Like,
honestly.
It's not.
And then there's the dickheads that like think it's like you go up and you'll say this next act is a newcomer, right? Don't be heckling them. What's the first fucking thing they do? They heckle a newcomer, and you're like, that's dick move 101.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if you're new, you don't know how to. You don't even know your set properly yet.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't be heckling a newcomer. It's just,
even if you're like, if they're newish, you know, like I would even say I would still consider like you quite new. Like I've literally just done. I'm like, you know, 3.5 years now or something, and I'm still new. Like, you know, like I would still look at myself like, oh, I'm fucking fresh in this at the minute. Like my jokes aren't the potential there will be in 5 years time, you know. So like I think even heckling someone at our level is like, you're being a dickhead there. Like I get like if you're heckling Mickey or something, someone who's gonna fucking not the heckle Mickey, but you know, like if you're heckling like
Mickey.
if he's on with us anyway, you know, leave us alone, you know. But like if you're gonna heckle like a big act or something, or someone who's doing a big long set or headlining or something, they have the time to bring it back and stuff. But if you're heckling a newcomer who's just either trying out some new material or whatever they're doing, you know, they've only got like a 5-minute, 10-minute spot at the most. You know, it's like, don't fucking do it. You're ruining the crack. You know, you're not part into the show. I had a good one time where this fella was just being real shite crack, and I was like, right, okay, well, what do you do, big man? He was like, I do filming. And I was like, right, okay. And I was like, this guy's so boring. And I was like, and what do you do with filming? He was like, can't tell you. And I was like, good one.
Pornos or something?
And then someone from the back just went, snuff movies. And I was like, and it turned out the fella that shouted it was my girlfriend's dad's best mate. And I was like, legend, big laugh in the room. And I was like, see, he heckled him, he didn't heckle me, so that was great. I was like, that's exactly what I wanted.
That's what you want, though.
It wasn't like a fucking clever heckle or anything, but it's the way, like, he just was like, the guy was giving me nothing, and he added to it, and I went, that was nice. Okay, I like that. Right, the rest is shut up now, you know.
I remember having to explain, not even like explain heckling, because you never should do it, but like crowd interaction. It was at that gig you were at in Gallagher's, because for some reason, every single gig I've done at Gallagher's, there's someone who's off their face at it. I don't know what it was.
What was that? Sorry to interrupt you. What was the name of the guy?
Michael Galway.
Michael Galway.
His name was Michael Galway. If you're listening, you're an absolute asshole. He had the Galway.
Hit the Galway.
They keep slobbering, and like I was emceeing, I'm first up, and I was like, yeah, man, all right, okay. And then I finally asked him, I was like, what is your name? He's like, Michael Galway. I was like, yeah, why don't you fucking go away? You and Danny Donegal and fucking Carrie there. But I remember after, like, I went down, I was like, listen, man, like, I appreciate you're excited and all, you're having a bit of drink.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. But it's like no, that was the first gig. That was the guy with the wallpaper in his bag.
Yeah, the wallpaper bag.
Yeah. 2 separate people. 2
Oh,
monters.
these are 2 separate people, right? Okay.
Crazy.
Jesus.
But what's crazy about that, I remember I think I was like on like after you told them off, so I was sort of standing like beside you, and like it was really weird because like Colin went up to him, just went whispering like this, and was like, "So, could you shut the fuck up, please?" And he went, "I sure, mate, I'll shut up." And like just like fucking was like,
I'm the most gentle bouncer about it. I'm like, sorry, pardon me, when folks like, see, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That's so shy. I used to hang about with a load of fellas who used to come to my gigs, and they're all big fellas. Like I'm like I was the smallest and skinniest out of them all, you know. And it was like fucking hanging about with like Maori people, you know. And one of them actually is a bouncer. So whenever people would like haggle at the gigs or anything, he would just have them in like a fucking arm lock, you know. And I was like, but I don't hang about with him anymore, and I'm fuming because it was nice to have that about, you know. Because I'm a bitch. Like I'm like. If you start on me or if you start on someone, I'll be the first person to fucking swing a dig. But I'm a bitch whenever it comes to starting something because I'm lazy, you know. So if someone's like, you know, hackling in the crowd or something, if I'm on stage, I'll tell them to fuck up. But if I'm like at the side, I'm like, oh, I cut me bald with this. It's going to be too much effort. They're probably going to kick off, and I'm probably going to have to do something. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm too lazy. Getting too old, you know. You don't know about this song yet. You're only joking.
Mate, so sweet. Run a couple of gigs under your belt to be sweet. I always find a polite wee tap on the shoulder and a look at you like confused. I'm like,
yeah, you hit them with a sorry. Yeah,
but that guy was crazy at that gig though. Like I was trying to make like a joke because there wasn't many people in the front row, and I was doing my Raxico Falvatorius bit. There's that bit in. But I was trying to do that bit.
shout out to Raxico Falvatorius.
Fucking nailed it. Can you say it, Justin?
Does he play for Celtic?
Does he play for Celtic?
Fucking, I don't know what the fuck yous are saying.
That's a new cat.
Raxico Falvatorius. Best Doctor Who planet ever.
Raxico Falvatorius.
There's no The Chronic by Dr. Dre. Girls by Motley Crue. I don't know. Yeah, but sorry, go ahead.
So there wasn't anybody in the front row, and as like a wee joke, I thought I'd say, "Oh, hello, Candle." Like it's just as a funny thing. And the guy, "You want me to move?" I'm like, "You just fucked up that punchline so badly." And then I was doing my bit where I talk about am I Protestant autistic or Catholic autistic, and they start shouting out Protestant, Catholic. I'm like, patience,
not a fucking guessing
game.
You'll
fucking wait. You'll find out.
It's not the fucking blame game here. Like,
then I had the best heckle ever because I told a joke about like my dad going away for the milk, and then one guy went, "Me too, mate," and I'm only joking. My dad's still around.
That's funny.
God bless me.
I know.
And then there was a guy that ruined the punchline about the Steven Seagal bit. He shouted out Asian experience at the top of his lungs, ruined the entire joke, and I was just like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah, but we've had over an hour here, so I'm thinking we want to wrap it up because it's going to be 3 hours of me editing. So, have you anything to plug coming up? I'm going to record a separate wee thing for
your own.
Yeah.
Well, should we mention Newton Ards then, or
Newton Ards? Yeah. Fuck. I'll probably have said it at the start anyway. So we're all
not on the poster, but I'm there.
You're on the lineup. Yeah, the poster was made before you were put on it. So we're doing 14th of what date's it today? It's the 6th of February. We're recording today. Not to kill the magic, so this will be out on Tuesday. This Friday coming, you will. We are doing Newton Ards Rugby Club. We are doing a Valentine's night fundraiser for the Ards Scouts because they are underfunded at the minute. And what are we Protestant kids going to do every Wednesday night? You know, so make your way down to that. You can donate to it and stuff. We'll have a wee bucket going around. You can buy tickets in the door if you want, or you can buy tickets online on Eventbrite. That would be great. Used her on the lineup. Yous are also on the lineup for fuck man. You stop booking. You can't. Yous are also on the lineup for the roast battle. 28th of February. It's only a few weeks away now, so need to get some tickets shifted for it. These two are on so far. With I'll not say too much about the lineup just yet because I've already announced that Owen Sloan and Craig Brown are going to be going against each other as well, so that'll be a good one also. So Conall Rhymes and Sam McVea will also be going against. Then how are you feeling for the roast battle?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
Was one of you messaging me the other day about how long you wanted to go in it, or
it was me?
Was that you messaged me? Craig Brown messaged me as well. Sorry,
yeah.
So that's see when
I
people
know, 'cause
message
I
me on,
thought
I'm
it was
like,
gonna be like-
cocky.
I thought it was gonna be one round, and you said it was free, and I was like, shit.
No,
I've
so it's
already
3
read-
rounds of like a minute and a half each. Like a minute and a half. But if you go over, if you do 5 minutes, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's more just like to give yourself some room to.
Sam's getting ballsy. Only one round. Only one round. Nah, it's gonna be good crack. It'll be fun. It's gonna be a lot of like.
No, I can't wait to see it, and we're doing it the same as the last one that
So they'll
didn't happen,
decide like the
apparently.
vote by like the crowd, the shouting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and there'll be the panel of a few comedians. It's me, Brona Diamond, and David Doherty Jeb. So
That's quite a mix of.
you don't want to be getting roasted by them too. You know,
No
like,
way.
David Doherty Jeb will fucking make you suicidal. So he will. But yeah, so that'll be fun. But thank you boys for coming on. Appreciate
course.
you making your way down.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
And have you anything coming up or?
No.
Well, I do. No, flex. Already roasting them already. I've got the Spaniard Gong Show, which is get run by the lovely Sir James Downey at Spaniard's Gong Show.
Is that next week or?
I think it's on the 19th. Double
Oh,
checking it.
yeah.
And then I've got my own gig that I'm running at Oxfam on the Dublin Road in Belfast. It's for charity, obviously, to help proceeds towards Oxfam. Great charity. It's going to be a good crack. Got a great lineup. Yourself's on it.
Yes.
Sam's not on it because I don't like him. I've already hit my quota. I've got 3 girls on it. No, I'm joking. That's terrible. Cut that out. No.
He didn't want the autistic comedian on.
I'll
It was
be, I'll
fine.
be racist and homophobic, but I will not be sexist.
3 women are the equivalent to 1 autistic guy.
Exactly, that's how it
It's like
doubles out.
fucking, it's
It all
like
adds
top
up.
trumps,
Yeah.
like Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh my god.
I use Asperger's guy.
I didn't even notice that.
Well, I
till
use
fi-
3 fem cells.
I didn't even notice till I finished the lineup. I was like, oh yeah, fucking flex. I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
It's never been done, but no, it's gonna be a great gig. It's an awesome lineup.
I don't think it ever has been done. I think
Really?
I
That
think
fucking
you
says
have
it
broke the
all.
record for most females on a lineup.
Oh Jesus.
Fair play to you.
I don't even want to be there. I'm glad I broke it, but it shouldn't have been me. It should have been ages ago. But it's gonna be great. It's an amazing lineup.
Yeah.
Their cheapest chips, only a $5 ticket, so check it out. It's on
That's
Eventbrite
right.
as well.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
also forgot. I'm also doing that Gong Show gig, not with him though, because I don't like him. I'm doing it on the 26th of February, I think. Not too
Yeah.
sure though.
I need to message James and see about getting on that because I need to get as much stage time as possible. And I'm like trying to write like a new hour here. So
Yeah.
hopefully I was going to do one earlier in the year, but then I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to move it to the end of the year.
But January's dead, like anyway.
Yeah.
It's like the first 3 months is quiet as fuck.
I was going to go like maybe like May time, and then I was like, I don't know, because I was like, I want to write a whole new set like from scratch. So I was like, I might go like October, September, or
Fuck
something, you know. But yeah, so no, as I say, thank you boys for coming on. Check out Conall Rhymes, Sam McVea, Instagram. Do you do Facebook or anything or?
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, where they post all the nice stuff for their parents, and you know myself, Justin Freeburn, User Hectic. We've got stuff coming up that keep an eye out for. The thing I'm going to be doing that I haven't said yet, so that's fun. Anticipation, and yeah, listen, tell your dad stop texting me.